So the Haitian Revolution, and revolution on a tiny little island of enormous hemispheric importance, of enormous human importance, yet we don't learn about it. We've got to make up our mind. We're either for freedom and democracy, and we're going to celebrate movements for that, or we're not. We can't cheer for abolitionists because their efforts would have been worthless, with the greatest of respect to them, without the revolutions that were going on in the Caribbean, and we can demonstrate that. That's not to say there were not genuine abolitionists in this country, and they shouldn't be remembered. They absolutely should. But to remember abolitionists without remembering hundreds of thousands of people who physically shed their blood to free themselves seems a little bit hypocritical to me. Next slide, please. The last slide I'm going to show you for the evening before I put up a bibliography and we open up. This is the Citadel. This is a military fortification that was built in Haiti within the 15 years after it declared itself independent. I think it's incredible that a group of people who began their lives as enslaved human beings were able, for a brief period until they were extorted again, to build monuments like this. Though I must be honest to history and not romanticize history, the guy who took over, Dessalines, the man I showed you, was assassinated, by the way. When the revolution ended, he made the mistake of kind of trying to institute some kind of socialist measures in Haiti. He said to the other elite black and mulatto leaders, he said, listen, we've got all this property now. We're rich now. We've inherited what the French used to have. I think we should redistribute this property to the people who won the revolution, to the poor people, to the enslaved. The other leaders were like, no thanks, and they murdered him. And the gentleman who took over was a bit of a despot. He may have been black, but he was a black despot. And so we know that many, many Haitians died building this. So I don't want to come here and be romantic and pretend that everything was all wonderful once the revolution was won, but I am putting this up to say that I do think it's incredible as part of the human story that a group of people who'd lived most of their lives as slaves were able to construct something like this, notwithstanding, of course, the brutality that underpinned it. Here's a very brief bibliography for some of the information that I put up tonight. We'll leave this up as we open up for questions. But again, I just want to provoke you with that food for thought and look at how can we fully understand the human story in this globalized world if we don't have any real sense of major parts of it.